go. And we are live. Holy smokes. Good afternoon, TacoSlayers and EATMIGOS. This is it. This is the moment you guys have been waiting for. California meets Texas, two separate countries. Oh man, this is amazing. So who I've got with me right now, he started in 2018 from San Antonio, Texas, Mr. EATMIGOS, Chris Flores. Thank you so much for joining me. He's had tacos all over the world, from Jerusalem, Brazil, Texas. He's been
London,
in Miami.
London, yeah, man, all over the place.
Dude, thank you so much, first of all, for doing this. You're the first guest on the TacoSlayer podcast.
Hell yeah, man, that's awesome.
I love your videos. They were, once I started doing videos, yours was the first one that I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is like really onto something. And I went through your whole catalog, man. Season 1, you're on season 3 now, so we did season 1, yeah. Which was
what was the first video? What was the first one you ever saw?
The first video I ever saw was probably season 2, maybe 43, 44. Okay. We're talking a while ago.
Yes, it was right after like our fiesta. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's very cool. Dude. Man, I'll tell you, it's been a crazy ride too, man. As you see, tacos all over the world, man. So it's been a crazy ride.
What I love is that you managed to find like authentic Mexican tacos somewhere else in the world. When you were in Jerusalem, when your video started of you in Jerusalem, I was like, what the hell did he just say?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Tacos Luis? Tacos?
So I've done 2 there. I did Tacos Luis, and then I did a place in the Shook, which is the market there. And I can't remember the name of it, but so that my buddy, so how that had happened was I was working production with some other guys that work local production in Israel. And we had hired them. We're all working on a production together. And my buddy's like, hey, dude, I checked you out. I saw your YouTube. I know you like tacos. I know a place in the Shook and they serve tacos. And I'm like, get out of here in Jerusalem. He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, one of the last nights of production, we got to go try it out. And I'm like, all right, let's go, man. And we went. And to my surprise, I walk up, man, it's like, you're in Israel. You have the Arab side of the market. You have the Jewish side of the market. And then somewhere right in the center is a little Latino like corner, and like they're watching soccer. The guys are there drinking. Everyone's speaking Spanish. No one speaks English. It's just this great time, man. Yeah, there were people there from Argentina, from Colombia, from Mexico, from all over the world, man. All Latino, Spanish-speaking countries, man. It was
and really everybody cool. Like converged on this one location. That was
yeah. They're all hanging out. It was literally like walking into a Latino country, man. And we walk up and they're kind of looking at us and they look at us like, who are these guys? So Luis, the owner of Tacos Luis, reaches out and he's like, hey man, I go there and I'm like, man, how does someone from Mexico City wind up in Jerusalem? And he's like, man, I fell in love with a girl.
Really?
Yeah, man.
That's what it is. Love brings out tacos.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Tacos bring out the love.
Exactly.
Now, you mentioned that you were doing production. Your videos have to be some of the best taco videos specifically that I've ever seen put together. You have a background in producing videos then?
I do, man. Yeah, I do local TV. A lot of stuff's going to the internet now. I'm doing a lot of web stuff. Ever since this COVID-19 thing happened, man, I'm doing almost exclusively web. Yeah, man. So I've been doing it for a little over 10 years now. And yeah, man, I mean, I love the craft. The funny thing is I was a communication major in college. I had no formal training for video production. It's all stuff that I've just learned. Yeah.
I can respect
on my own YouTube, baby. YouTube, man. It's like my wife says, you got a degree in YouTube. I'm like, I do. I honestly do. That's where I learned.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's badass, man. Now, in season 1, you started with just a couple cameras, but then all the way to season 3, where you're at now, I think episode 62 or whatever, you've got flying drones. You've got like badass lenses. What's the transition been like?
So man, it went from, I literally started with a little point and shoot camera, a G7X Mark II. It's like a, it's a good camera still, but $500-$600 camera. And from there, I was like, man, the audio isn't as good where I'd like it to be. Amigos was never really meant to be as big of a production as it became. It was always going to be like, hey, man, when I go to lunch with my friends, we eat tacos often. It's going to be one of these things where we laugh, we say a lot of funny stuff, and I just kind of want to catalog it, put it online. Maybe other people would find it funny, maybe not. I don't know. Um, but what happened is I started getting an audience, and more people started liking it. And I was like, well, hell, I got to put more time into it now. And just the progression of, well, let me break out the drone for this. And then it turns into, well, let me do an intro. Oh, well, then let me do this. And before I know it, it turned into where it was literally on my production schedule as like, hey, I'm going to shoot Migos on Tuesday. I'll edit Thursday, Friday night, and it'll be out for Saturday. Yeah.
But you're doing the music too. You've got badass intros. Like you've got homemade songs. And then I saw recently you playing the keyboard. So where did that all come into play? What's going on there?
Well, so it was, Home Sweet Home, man. That was one of the first songs. I really don't play the piano very well. I play the guitar, but I can play a little bit. And Home Sweet Home was the only, probably one of like 5 songs that I can play really well on the piano. And since we're stuck at home, COVID-19, it was a home episode. I was like, let me close it out with a little Home Sweet Home. I wanted to put the song on there, but I was like, dude, if I put it, it's gonna get flagged. They're gonna take it down, whatever, blah blah blah. I was like, I'll just play it on my keyboard, bro.
Yeah. Remix it.
Yeah, dude, I'll just do it myself, man. And
Love
yeah, yeah. The opening song, actually, me and a couple buddies did that, just kind of messing around. It was literally like
the lowrider one.
Yeah, dude, the lowrider one, man. We were just kind of talking about it, and we were talking about Amigos. I was like, man, I think it'd be cool to get a song, and we started messing around with that. And literally, my buddy's like, well, hey, dude, let's just record it, and we did it all in GarageBand, man, just right there with one mic. It's got like, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 tracks overlaid, and then like what he did is he put more bass and stuff in the track, in the music track. But yeah, wow. That's how that was born, man. Dude. And then I use Triple Scoop Music or Artlist. I've recently started using Artlist in season 3. Really, really like their stuff.
You're pretty technical, man. You really got your technical stuff down.
Man, trying to, man. It's trying.
I have a huge question. Which, we're talking technical. Let's talk tacos.
Tex-Mex, man. We have a lot of breakfast tacos, those kinds of things. Whereas, in California, man, we get beat up a lot over there. And they're like, those aren't tacos. If it's in a flour, it's a wrap. And it's like, well, no, not necessarily. They're tacos. They're just bigger than normal street tacos. It seems like, so I have a lot of friends in California, a lot of friends who do taco stuff. And they kind of have this, it's like this line. It's like white, it's like black and white. It's like, if it's not on corn, then it's a burrito, right? And it's like, man, here in Texas, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. But that's what makes tacos so awesome, and that's one thing I always tell people. With tacos, they really bring people together. It's almost like people who smoke. 2 people go outside, they smoke, never met in their lives, they'll have a conversation. Tacos the same way, man. When you're waiting for your tacos at the taqueria, or like you're eating tacos and someone's eating next to you. Just makes everyone happy, man. And that's what's so great about tacos. I mean, California has their kind, we have our kind. I mean, it's cool, man. It's I used to get in a lot of arguments with people, especially here in Texas, about tacos, and we'd fight Austin all the time. San Antonio does. And then, man, I kind of went on this route of like, hey, it's more of like a sibling rivalry to me, right? Like we all love tacos, man. We're all adults. We all love tacos, right? We shouldn't let what we love divide us, right? So
exactly.
So at the end of the day, man,
I completely agree with you. Now I understand that there's a stigma for a flour tortilla taco. I get it. Oh, that's not authentic, but it's awesome. It's awesome. And yeah, I don't care if there's some taco Nazis out there that don't want to allow such a thing, then that's on them. But I, for one, am 1,000% down with it. Yeah.
Exactly. And the one thing I always tell people is, because people always try to get me to bash other people's tacos and stuff. And I'll say this: when you look at history, you look at where tacos came and were brought to the United States. 2 places were California and Texas. And why? Because the Latinos working down there, the Mexican miners Once that was over, we started working the railroad, and they made their way up into the United States. So when people were like, well, no, we did this, it's like, you know what? Honestly, just equally, that culture, the Mexican culture, was brought into America through our great states, man. So
Yeah.
we're fighting about it, and let's just boast about it to all the other, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a real interesting thing. I just live a few miles away from Milta's Cafe, or Mitla's Cafe,
Huh?
which is across the street is where the original Taco Bell
Okay.
was started. And so the rumor goes, and it's pretty factual, but the rumor goes that the Bell family basically copied Mitla's tacos. The deal with the taco, right, is that you use what you've got. You know,
Right.
if you've got ground beef, well, that's what we're making tacos out of.
Yeah, man.
No cheese, doesn't matter. What's in the fridge?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
you know, using the ingredients they had, they, you know, created these awesome ground beef tacos with shredded lettuce, cheese,
Yeah,
tomatoes
man.
on the top, everything that was available out here. And then the Bell family totally copied that. And I mean, bottom line is they whitewashed the whole thing. And
Right.
but
But
that
you know, it's funny though. In the United States, some states, Taco Bell is the Mexican restaurant and the authority. Ah, look there, Mexican Coke, man.
that's just for you, brother.
And you know, it's funny because what I'm drinking is equivalent, the Texas equivalent, which is Big Red. This is like
Oh,
this is this is Mexican. I'm trying to get it so it's not so overexposed. This is like Mexican champagne, Big Red. And see, this is the Texas the taste of Texas is what it says. Look at
dang,
that.
what is the Big Red?
So Big Red is paired best with Barbacoa. Like here in San Antonio, that's the way of life. Big Red and Barbacoa. But it's just it's a red soda, man. It's a red soda. It's good.
Like
It's
an
only
apple
cold.
soda?
No, no, not like apple soda. It's like I don't even know how to explain it, man. It's just it's a red soda, man. It's got a pretty bold taste. It almost tastes like a Bud Light. Honestly, it's got a
Really?
really bold taste. Yeah, I mean, not in the sense of it tastes like beer. It's just got a bold taste, like Bud Light. Um, but yeah, it's a man. I wouldn't even. It's hard to. I've never ever had to explain it before. I'll have to send you some, man. But we
Yeah,
only they only make them in Texas.
I've never
I
seen
think
that before.
yeah, they only make them in Texas, and literally we call it here in Texas Mexican champagne because
Really?
it is like we eat it with barbacoa, man. This is it, man. Like I said, yeah.
I'm sure you get asked this all the time. Being the Eat Migo, what's your favorite taco, brother? Your
So
favorite?
the Eat Migos taco, man, the one you made the other day.
Oh,
Man, it's just something about that bean and chorizo mix. My dad used to make that when I was a kid. And man, let me tell you what, he would make it. And we didn't call it the migo or anything like that back then. We just would eat it. And I kind of like forgot about it as I got older, you know, because when we were a kid, we didn't have a lot of money. So we ate a lot of the same stuff. So it was kind of like I hadn't eaten it in a while. And one day I was doing an Eat Migos at the donut shop. It's been around like 65 years or something
all right.
here in town. It's a staple. And one of the senoras back there, she said, I was looking, I was like, well, let me see. And I was looking for tacos, and she's like, hey, mijo, you should try it. My favorite taco from here is the bean and cheese. I mean, the bean, bacon, and cheese and chorizo. And she's like, you should try it. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I haven't had a bean and chorizo in a long time. I was like, and I've never had it with bacon. I was like, and cheese. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Man, I've been into it, and it was like a blast from the past, and I fell in love with it, man. And I was like, this is my favorite taco.
It's funny how that happens. How the taste buds can draw up some memory
Dude,
that you
it
know
did,
hadn't
man.
hadn't remembered in a while.
Yeah, man. It was like being in my house when I was growing up with my family around me. It was the weirdest thing, man. It was a blast from the past. So there's a lot of nostalgia that goes into that taco. And so what happened is I started going around and I'd eat it at places. And one of the places called Taco Haven here in town, they're also a staple. They've been around 60 years or whatever. The owner was like, "Hey, man," he and I were having breakfast one day, and he had never even heard of that combination. And
Really?
he, dude, I've never heard of that. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, it's my favorite taco. So he said, hey, you know, bring me one as well. So he had it, and he's like, man, I'm gonna put this in the menu. I'm gonna call it the Eat Migo. Bam, right there. So he started calling it the Eat Migo. So I actually have the Eat Migos bean cheese or bean and chorizo with bacon and cheese at Taco Haven. So when people come into town, they go there. It's literally it's on the menu. Uh,
Really?
Yeah, dude. And then there's another place because my
Called
second
Ego on the menu.
it's called the Migo. Yeah, yeah, dude. So check it out.
Dude.
This is even cool as well. So my second favorite is carne guisada with cheese.
Okay.
And so a good friend of mine, Chef Leo Davila from Catch the Wave, man, he's won quite a few of our taco contests here in town. He and I did a cooking show, and because I was like, dude, let's show people how to make your flour tortillas because they're gluten free for people with allergies. I was like, and let's do carne guisada, and I was like, gluten free everything. And yeah, he's like, dude, I'm gonna put this on my pop-up menu as the Eat Migos carne guisada. So I have a carne guisada with cheese, and then my Eat Migo, the chorizo and bean with bacon and cheese. Yeah,
Dude, that's bad. You got your own tacos, man.
dude. So check this out. So one thing, and this is no one knows this, and I'm actually maybe rolling it out a little early because I think it's gonna happen next week. So I expanded and started doing videos, not just taco videos. Like every now and then I'll throw in something else that's like Latino or whatever, right? Because I really try to keep the culture. And the Güeros Fajitas, the burger place I went to, dude, he's making a burger with chorizo in it, and he's calling it the Eat Migos, and it's gonna be at his truck, the Eat Migos hamburger, man.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man. So that's really freaking cool. Yeah.
Dude, I like that it's all over the place. And you've reviewed some really awesome spots. Like,
Man, yeah.
really cool spots.
I really try to find a new spot, a month, a place, a new place. Like when I did Mr. Diablo, man, this is no bullshit. I don't know, can I say that on there? Like,
Absolutely.
Anyway, yeah, okay, yeah. So this, honestly, man, it's no bullshit. This is exactly what happened. Me and my buddy Alex, we went there. We had his pastor, and I looked at Alex and I said, man, I'll be honest with you, dude. This pastor is great, man. I was like, man, if this isn't the best in the city, this is some of the best in the city. He'd been open 2 months at that point. No one really knew him. And, I did the Amigos episode. And when we were done, I said, hey, guys, I host the Taco Truck Throwdown, and I host the Texas Taco Tequila. And I said, man, if you go to the Texas Taco Truck Throwdown and you enter this taco, I said, you're going to win. And they're very humble. It's a father and son. And they're like, oh, you really think so? I think you're just being nice. I'm like, no, I'm not kidding you, man. This pastor you're taking it to another level here. And even though I hosted, I have nothing. It's a people's choice. So it's a people's choice. I have nothing to do with. I didn't rig it or anything. Like, it's a people's choice, man, brother. I wish I had the clip to show right now, but when I got up there and I was on stage, and it was right after one of the performances, and I got hundreds of people in front of me or thousands or whatever, and we're reading off who won. And I get the little slip, and I literally have the trophy in my hand. I open it up, and it says Mr. Diablo, and I was like, holy shit, man, this dude. I say his name, and like it's crickets. I was like, Mr. Diablo, Edmundo, and like nothing. I'm like, what the hell? So like I'm on stage, so I'm elevated, and I look over there, dude. He has a line of about 100 people. He didn't even hear. He was so freaking busy. That's how busy he was. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take him his thing. So I literally walk over there, and I open up his back door to the truck, and I walk in there, and he looks at me. Him and his son and his wife are in there, and they're looking at me, and I'm like, I told y'all if y'all were gonna enter, you would win. People's choice. Here you go, man. It was an emotional moment for them, and I was happy because, man, these were guys, they were just starting out, man, and now, I mean, dude, they're super popular. They're doing well. They're doing well for themselves.
That's really awesome.
Volumes, yeah.
That's a badass story.
Yeah, man, it was cool, but it's funny because I literally looked at my buddy Alex, and we talk about it. It's like I knew it. I knew the second I tasted it that those would win.
You can tell a good taco immediately.
Man, that pastor, it was just, one thing, whenever I go eat, and so whenever I go eat at a place, I tell people when they say, hey, Chris, come out. And I'm like, it's not that I feel that I ask them this one question. And the reason I ask them this is because I want them to sell me as to why to come. Not because I'm anything special, but hey, you tell me why you want me to go out there.
Yeah.
And the one thing I ask them is, I say, between my front door and where you're at, there's 300 trucks selling tacos. What's going to make me get in my car, drive past 300 trucks, and go to the 301st truck, get out and eat your tacos? Go. And I make them answer, and then they're like, oh, well, we have the best whatever, or I let them sell themselves. And that's how I kind of pick who I'm going to go to when they have a good answer. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's a good way to judge somebody on how well they answer an awesome question.
Yeah. I mean,
How well they put their situation together.
the way I see it is I don't charge. So here's the thing. I don't charge for an Eat Migos episode. I literally do all that. It's free advertisement for them. I love it. I love doing it. I do it because I love it. I do it because I want to help out mom and pops and give them the exposure, because half of them, they don't see the value. I think they do now, but like some of them don't even have social media accounts. So they don't really see the value of putting stuff out on social media. A lot of them are old school, whatever, right? Or they don't have the money for it. And I'm like, this is kind of my service. I'm eating tacos from there anyway. So why not, talk about them? And, I get a lot of people who talk shit to me and they're like, hey, well, you like every taco that you've eaten. And I'm like, that's not true. If I don't like a place, I will tell the person like, hey man, I really thank you for the invite. I will post pictures of the tacos, but I'm not gonna post a video. I'm not gonna do it.
Do you test the food before you go there? Like
I never test it, but whenever I'm there, if it's just not sitting well with me, or if I left and if I'm not gonna put my name on anything or send people like who follow me there to get sick or to be disappointed or whatever. So one thing I do is, like I said, I will acknowledge anyone who invites me out, and if I go eat there and I'll post. I'm not saying that places that just have, some of my posts just have pictures that I didn't like their food. I'm just saying that I'll at least give them an honorable mention, but I'm not going to put my name and say, this is some of the best tacos in San Antonio. You got to go try them out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So when people are like, you like them all? I'm like, well, yeah, I kind of like anyone else. When you eat something you like, you tell your friends, right? So that's kind of the way I am. I don't eat one meal a freaking week. I mean, so it's not like I just eat one meal a week and it's like I tell everyone about it. No, I mean, I eat how everyone else eats, man. So when I eat something good, I make a video about it. Yeah.
So location wise, you have to have your go-to. I can't imagine that, every day or every time you're craving Mexican food throughout the month, you go drive across town. So your local one, the one that's like local to you, your go-to always, where hands down it's never going to be flat. Where is that one at?
All right. So there's a place where I live. So I actually have recently moved in country outside of the city. Okay. So I live on the outskirts. There's a little place called Garcia's, and it's actually going towards New Braunfels outside of San Antonio. And it's probably about 15, 20 minutes from where I live. And honestly, man, I love their food. I've posted about it before. I've posted pictures about it, but it truly is my go-to. Me and my family, my kids like it. They like the bean and cheese from there. So yeah, man, it's a winner. That's all awesome. The way around. It's a winner for us. Yeah.
The whole family likes it.
Whole family loves it, man. Yeah, and my kids, dude, look, it's funny. I think I gave a little bit of insight in my last video through asador of my family running around. My kids, man, they're TacoSlayers, bro. Yeah. Like literally, I'll be like, hey, what do you want for breakfast? Tacos. And I'm like, okay, so we've eaten tacos like 3 times. Let's have a pancake or something, guys, because we need to switch it up. Or it's funny, man, but that's always their go-to. Tacos. What kind of tacos? Bean and cheese. That's bacon awesome. And egg. Like, it's just funny, man. They are true EATMIGO TacoSlayers, bro.
Do they love what Dad's doing? Do they love seeing him on YouTube? They're about that age, right?
Yeah. So the funny thing about my kids is whenever I put on the EATMIGOS hat, and these glasses are my EATMIGOS glasses. These are like my party, So I do a lot of work with City Lokes. That's where this is from. And they're out of LA actually. Okay. But so whenever I put on the glasses and the hat, they call me Taco Daddy. So it's like a different persona from whenever like tonight when I was leaving, they're like, Dad, you're going to work, Taco Daddy? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be on a podcast tonight. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. It's like they call me Taco Daddy, man. That's what they call me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but that's only whenever I have like I'm normal dad whenever I don't have the glasses on or whatever. Yeah.
Family is awesome. My journey has been intermingled with my wife. She's been a huge supporter of mine. Has your wife, has she supported you? Has she been like, listen, man, I don't want to be an EATMIGO. You're the EATMIGO, and I'm just here.
She went on. She actually went. She is in one of my episodes when I went to the Pollos, one of the Pollos Asados places here in town,
Okay.
and yeah. And she no, she hasn't always. My wife's always supportive of me, but at the very beginning, she would be like, "What are you doing?" Like, she was very, yeah, she wasn't into it, man. She's like that video isn't even very good. Like she's very transparent.
Really?
Dude, she's so blunt with me, man. Like, and honestly, I feel that if people like my videos, so she previews all my videos before I put them out, and she gives me the thumbs up, thumbs down. And she'll be brutally honest. She'll be like, I have a vested interest, and honestly, it was boring to me, and I don't think people are gonna like it. You need to do something to it. You need to put some humor in there. You need to re-edit it. You need to do something. And yeah, man. So like I yeah, man, I take her criticism, and
Yeah.
dude, and honestly, like I said, if you enjoy my videos, it's because my wife enjoys my videos, because there's been times I've tried to put something out, and she's like, yeah, I don't approve of that. I don't.
We all need somebody like that in our lives. There needs to be somebody there that's like, hey, dude, you need to try harder, work harder.
She'll be like, you rushed it. She'll be like, yeah, I feel you rushed that video. You just don't even put it out this week. Like she'll be brutally honest with me, man. She is.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that I have attempted to put out, and she shot down. So I don't know. Maybe one day we'll have the Eat Migos, the B side, the B sides, or whatever. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, you can't have a yes man wife. You can't.
No, man.
That doesn't work out. Those relationships are
and let me tell you what, I don't always take it with open arms. I'm not all like, oh, baby, thank you. You're the greatest. Like, it pisses me off at times. There's some stuff that I've worked so hard on, man. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, you know how long it took me to do that? And she'll be like, yeah, just, no.
That's
I'm not
awesome.
seeing it. I don't see that vision or whatever. There's been a couple times I've been like, you know what, I'm going to push it out anyway. And it's flopped 50-50, flopped or done well. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, but for the most part, yeah, she is the executive producer of Eat Migos.
That's cool. She gets executive producer credits.
Yeah, she's the executive producer of Eat Migos, man.
Everybody needs a good partner, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Sounds like you got a really good one.
Yeah, so now, yeah, man, but like family, everyone's on board, everyone's cool with it. The one thing the biggest obstacle that I had was at the beginning, she thought I was just, so obviously Eat Migos has brought in, like, has done well for me. And it's literally like my business card. So like I said, I do production. So when people don't ask me if I do videos anymore, they obviously know I do video because they've seen me on Eat Migos.
Yeah.
And they'll say, do you do professional video? And I'll be like, yeah, well, here is my website to go look at my professional video. From there, then they're like, yes, we'd like to hire you to do this. Or they're like, oh, you did that commercial or you did that promo. Yeah, we would like something similar to that. And that's kind of the way Eat Migos. So like, yeah, so I changed my whole business name now. It's Eat Migos Creations. Like
really?
Yeah. So that's, yeah, exactly, man.
It really, it's a really good business card. I mean, when you put it like that, when it's the fact that, now you're putting all your time and your effort into making this thing to put out to the world. And it's like, yeah, I could do that for you. Clearly,
yeah, exactly.
Look at these skills.
And people, it's funny because people will be like, hey, I saw in your Eat Migos, you did this, and I'll be like, yeah, I actually did that because I was trying to learn how to do something in After Effects, and I just incorporated it in my video. And it was literally like, so when I went to Sorry, which was the Filipino food, and they did Filipino tacos.
Yeah.
That whole opening, I did. It was like I forgot the name of the TV show, the one with the kids with the upside down. What's it called? The real popular TV show.
The Brady Bunch.
That's funny. Yeah, the Brady Bunch. No, the one on Netflix. Anyway, long story short, I was messing around with trying to do something else for a client. Okay. And because I had to create some stuff and some animations, I was like, well, let me mimic this. And once I know I can mimic this, then I know I can do it for the client. So yeah.
Man,
so yeah.
You're not a talker, man. You're a doer. When somebody asks you about a problem, you're like, I'll think about that. No, you just go out and you figure out the solution for the problem. And you're like, let me test it on my page first, just to make sure it is up. Yep. It's epic. It's awesome.
Like I said, man, it's the YouTube University, man. I go to YouTube and I'll see who's done it and see if there's any explanation. And man, I have a really good group of guys that I work with and friends who really know a lot about the technical aspect of video. So I bounce a lot off of them as well. So yeah, man.
Solid network, man.
Yeah, it is, man. It is. Just let
So,
me ask you a question.
oh yeah, hit me.
Yeah. So, all right. So tell me, you had said something.
Yeah.
You had said that. So how did you find Eat Migos? That's the one question I always ask people. How did you stumble across Eat Migos?
I probably initially saw you post on inside of a group on Facebook.
Okay.
I know when you have a new video that comes out, you'll post it to a lot of the Mexican food
Right.
forum
Right.
or taco forums or whatever. And I initially found those, and I was like, this is badass. And then I went through your catalog from there and noticed you would post all the time. Started following you on Instagram. I'm always more active on Instagram for some whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then yeah, that was kind of it. And then but everything you put out is like really good quality. Like whether it was good or not, whether it tasted delicious or tasted like crap, or whatever your video was going to be, it was good quality. And and that's what kind of like drew me into like sticking around and continuing to watch everything, and like making sure that I
Right.
followed and subscribed and did all that stuff.
So then you started doing your own videos.
I did, yeah. I started doing a few months back, beginning of
And
the
man,
year.
dude, let me tell you what, man. I love your videos.
Ah,
And man, I do, man. I do. And what I like about them, dude, it's so funny. Like your hat back there, it's just funny to me, man. Like the whole,
okay.
dude, yeah, man. Like I love it. And the one thing that I like about it the most is how creative you are with your tacos, and how,
Oh,
like, literally, bro, you are the brownest white man I know, because you make tacos more than most of my Mexican friends, man. I'm telling you,
I really appreciate that.
brother. Yeah,
I
man.
really try.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
really trying to be as brown as possible.
You're gonna get the honorary Mexican card, man.
Can I get that? Can I get it
Dude,
laminated and
yeah,
stuff?
dude,
Just to carry
I'll
with
get
me?
you one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man.
You know what? There's a I knew what I was when I got into it, and I said, okay, I'm going to do this 1,000-day taco deal. I knew I was going to get flack for it. And so I wanted to make sure that I showed as much respect as possible to the culture. I wanted to make sure that I learned as much as I could. I wanted to make sure that, if I got a Mexican recipe, I want to honor the awesomeness of that Mexican recipe.
Yeah,
I do try to stick to as many corn tortillas as possible, which are
yeah,
surprisingly the easiest tortillas to make.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Less ingredients. Yeah,
yeah. So I'm doing my best to. I'm just doing my best to honor the culture. I'm totally grateful, and yeah.
that's really cool, man. Man, I love it, man. And dude, so I'm gonna tell you right now,
Yeah.
you literally have the best. That little taco holder thing that your wife made, dude.
Oh,
You need to market that, dude. I'm telling you right now, man.
my wife is so cool. She made those for my birthday,
Uh,
and she gave me like 3 different types of taco holders for my birthday.
uh,
And oh, it was the greatest thing. And then once I started using those for my taco photos and videos and stuff, we started getting people asking for them. And yeah, she sold a few dozen of them and stuff. Like,
Dude, yeah, man. I tell you what, fabulous, man. Like, I saw it and I was like, man, that's smart. So freaking. That's why I
I'll,
sent you a message. And I'm like, do you sell those, man? Like,
I'll,
that's awesome.
I'll,
I love that.
I'll send you some. I'll send you a
Dude,
couple.
that's awesome, man. That's
We'll hook
great,
it up.
dude. So tell me about the Amigos taco. When you put your own spin on it, you put cilantro, which I thought was a good. I'm actually gonna try it with cilantro. So tell me, what did you think about the Amigos taco, man?
Okay, I hadn't cooked chorizo in maybe I don't know, a month, and usually it's either with potatoes or eggs.
Yep.
And yeah, so it was nice to see something that was different, paired with the refried beans. Definitely didn't think of that. And with the bacon, I was like, oh, this is freaking next level, dude. Anything with bacon is awesome.
Always, man.
And yeah, I don't really care for refried beans, but when there's chorizo in them, they're awesome as hell. I
Yeah,
dug that. I like cheesy tacos. I don't care what people say. I like cheese on my tacos.
man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah.
We threw some mozzarella in there,
Nice.
just because I didn't have a lot of cheddar cheese.
Yeah.
So, and then yeah, I topped with cilantro and cotija.
Okay.
It was awesome. It was it was a phenomenal, easy to make taco, and it was different than everything that I had. You know, like we had done chicken and beef and chicken and beef,
Yeah.
chicken and beef. You know, like it was
Yeah.
just nice to have something that was completely different. And dude, I loved it, and I love that you made it. So it was really nice to have that video. I was showing my kids like
Yeah.
as I'm making it. I'm like, no, look what he does. And even some of my friends saw that video, and they went and made them the other day. I'll tag you in those videos if I didn't.
Nice, dude. Nice. Very
Dude,
cool. Dude, so
yeah.
I actually have, man, I haven't edited it, and I've had it for about 2 weeks. I may push it out here in the next couple of days. Picadillo tacos, man.
Oh snap!
Yeah, dude. And let me tell you, man, it's my wife's secret recipe, what she does. And it's stuff like instead of putting water, she does chicken broth. I mean, like, dude, like it's got some next level. And I guarantee you, you do it, brother, you will be on cloud nine, man.
Oh,
It is good
definitely.
eating. It is good eating, man. And I feel bad I haven't edited it. I've been busy with doing a lot of other stuff, but it's coming, man. It's coming soon. In the next week or so, I got to push it out, dude. I have
Dude,
to.
that's awesome. And yeah, I love recipes. I love getting new recipes, and I like when people are consciously like, "Yo, dog, I got this recipe. Try this recipe. I see that you cook things all the time, so give this a whirl." That's like one of my favorite things. Yeah, especially now that I'm doing the cooking.
Nice.
It's wild. I say like I'm doing all the cooking. My wife is always there making sure I don't burn the freaking house down.
Dude, so tell me about 1,000 days of tacos. What made you say, hey, you know what, man, I'm going to do what no man has ever done before?
Um, I think initially I heard that there was some sort of record for 400 days of tacos. I
Uh-huh.
read that somewhere, and I was like, oh man, you know, I want what. Trying to figure out what TacoSlayers was going to be. It was just my Instagram account, and like I said, I do hiking. I love tacos. I figure inevitably it would turn into something,
Yeah.
and then I wanted to beat this record, so I kind of kept that quiet for 100 days or 90 days or something, and then I started to like really go for it. And I don't think publicize is the right word, but put it
Yeah.
out there,
Yeah.
and then 400 days turned into a couple years, which inevitably stopped on, okay, 1,000 days. I'm going to go for 1,000 days, and I'm at 292 now, 293 today.
Nice.
And yeah, I was hoping to flood my I wanted to flood my Facebook feed with something other than political drama.
Oh, yeah,
um,
man. Yeah.
we all feel the way that we do, but I don't want to get into it. I
Yeah.
was raised that keep the things that you believe to yourself.
Yeah, man.
It's not worth arguing and ruining friendships over. And I was just watching that consistently going down, and so I
Yeah.
thought, you know what, tacos. No one can deny the love and the awesomeness of tacos, and that's kind of
So,
how it got started.
that's where the word amigos came from, man, actually. So
Really?
like, yeah, you're eating with your amigos, man. So like I have a friend, and man, in Texas, especially in the valley, Mexican people mix Spanglish, right? Spanish
Okay.
and English together, man. And I have a friend, and he would speak to us half English, half Spanish. So to mess with him, we'd always like talk to him half Spanish, half English, but on purpose and make it deliberate to like mess with him, right? And he'd be like, "Oh man, y'all are sorry, man." So Eat Migos actually was kind of born out of that, making fun of him. Yeah, because we're talking about I'm eating with my amigos, and then I just started saying, well, hell, whenever you're eating tacos with friends, it's Eat Migos, man.
Yeah.
You're eating with your amigos, Eat Migos. And originally, my thought was, I was like, I'm gonna have three of us. It's gonna be the los tres Eat Migos, and bro, I
That's funny.
literally my two other Eat Migos, dude, they bailed on me, man. And
Oh,
actually, Eat Migos would have probably come out a lot sooner, but I was literally waiting on them, and they was giving me the runaround. And then literally one day, I was like, man, screw this. I pulled out my camera. I videoed us eating at Eric's Tacos. That was episode number 1. I edited it, and I was like, I'm just going to do this on my own. And whoever's with me is going to be my Eat Migo for the day. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like sometimes, I mean, I literally have random people, and it's usually like if I'm gonna do an episode, like let's say I was gonna do an episode tonight, and we live in the same city, and you're like, hey, you want to be on my podcast? I'm like, yeah. Well, you go eat with me afterwards, and we'll shoot an episode, right? So I just, man, I just pick whomever, man. Yeah, whoever's around me, man.
Dude, when you're in town, that is exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, man, we got to do it, man. We have to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. That's what I noticed. That's what I noticed watching the older videos, like checking out the back catalog, like season 1, Richie. What is it?
Rich, yeah, Richo,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was in a few, but it was always like a different, and I love that. I thought that was really
Yeah,
cool
man.
because it also supplies you with a bunch of new conversation.
Yeah, dude, exactly, man.
Yeah.
And like as I got more popular, I had more like foodie people and influencer people like, hey, I'd like to do an Eat Migos episode with you. So I started bringing them. But I think actually just kind of talking about it, I need to get the band back together, take it back old school, get Jeremiah, Richo, yeah, like all the old school dudes. And we need to go do an Eat Migos because it's been a while since we've done one together, man.
That would be awesome. The throwback episode.
Dude, yeah, I think we're gonna do that, man.
See, that's what I was saying earlier. You're a doer, man. Like you saw the opportunity. You're like, if you guys don't want in, I'm doing this and I'm doing it no matter what. I bet they want it now. I bet they're jealous.
Dude, let me tell you what. So it's funny because my wife and I talk about it. Man, we started doing this, and man, all of a sudden, man, I rode the wave in. It was like tacos became so hot, like overnight.
That's awesome.
And it's like, hell yeah, man, I'm doing a taco vlog. I'm glad I was able to ride that wave in, man. And how I got my start in town, and like how I actually. So I will say this: there is a writer. Her name is Maddie Sky. She writes for the paper here in town. And what happened is, I said when I first came out, I was like, I'm gonna need a taco from every single place in San Antonio that sells tacos. I'm still trying to do that. I've slowed it down though, only because I started doing things otherwise. But anyway, that's still my absolute goal, right? I mean, my ultimate goal is to do that. But I came out and said that, and I did a promo video, saying that I was going to do that. She heard about it, and she did a story on me. Like, I don't know, I'd done like 1 or 2, maybe 3 episodes. From there, one of the local TV shows found out. I think episode 5 is whenever I did with Gilbert's, with Erica from KSAT 12, which is the local station. From there, it just started building. And then like people would call me and be like, hey, dude, they're talking about you on the radio station. They're saying, they're rooting for you. They hope you do it. And I'd be like, dude, I didn't even know, man. So then before I knew it, I just got popular here locally, man. And yeah, people started liking the show. And one thing that people tell me, like collectively, is, and I'll just paraphrase it, and I understand this. So I'm not the guy who's just going to run into a restaurant and try it out if I've never been there, right? I always want to find out who's been there.
Yeah.
Because I want to know the flow, right? Like that, we're guys. We want to know the flow. We don't want to walk in and look like an idiot, right?
Yeah.
So Eat Migos does that for people. Like literally, people are like, man, I feel like I've been to the place already when I go. Like I feel like I already know what I want to eat. Like and I think that that's really cool that Eat Migos does that. It kind of takes that. It basically takes the worry, like it takes the worrisome of being like, am I gonna like it or am I not gonna like it? What's it gonna look like? What's the menu gonna look like? And I put that out for people. They see it, they like it, and some people are like, I don't want to go to the restaurant. Other people are like, man, I like it. I want to try that place out. It looks cool. The menu looks good or whatever. And I think that's.
And how do you take that input? Do you take it via like Yelp reviews, or do you take it via the homies calling up people and like figuring it out that way?
So what happens is everywhere I go now, I'm pretty much invited to. If you look at my early stories, no one wanted me there. So like I was literally walking in and like videoing and scared, like, are they going to shut me down? And I've been shut down hundreds of times. So at the beginning, people would shut me down. Oh, I don't want you filming in here, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not the health code guy or whatever, but
Yeah.
Long story short, I pretty much just do invites now. So, man, I have a long list of invites, and I just really don't walk into places. But I will say this. So when I did the donut shop,
yeah,
I just walked in there and like,
okay.
yeah, I had invites to go places, but I said, hey, I'm just going to go in there and film. I got shut down. They brought it to general manager. That's why she is in the video, and she was kind of trying to figure out what we were doing. Then when she was like, "Oh, you're the Amigos guy. I've heard about you." Blah blah blah. And honestly, now
Awesome.
what happens is when I walk into a place in town, most restaurant owners know me, or they know I'm the guy. You know, they're like, "Oh, you're Amigos. Okay, well, cool." Like at Pete's Taco House, I was actually just meeting my buddies there for lunch, and I was just going to film us like our first impressions of trying the tacos. He comes out from the back and he's like, "Dude, I know you. I watch your videos." Pete does, and they've been there like 40 years or whatever. And I was like, "Well, hell, let me turn this into a full Eat Migos episode then." So I filmed it. I talked to him, and yeah, it was just kind of like, yeah, I did it on my phone, man. It was like, yeah, I want to say I did that episode on my phone. Yeah, it was just on the fly, man, just on the
Do you
fly.
do a lot of it seems like your resources are endless. Like you'll use, you know, whatever needs to get the job done, whether it's phone or
Dude, Tacos Luis, all the ones that were like Tacos Luis, I want to say I just used my phone.
that was
Yeah,
Jerusalem.
yeah, that's in Jerusalem. In London, I just used my phone. In Brazil, that was just my phone. So pretty much my travel ones are just my phone. Yeah,
Uh
because I'm just
were
kind of
you
walking
able
around. Yeah,
were you able to sell him on the idea of Eat Migos when you walked in?
I just walked in. I just walked in and did it, man. No one. I mean,
Really?
dude. So
That's
there's this saying. You know, the saying is, and I got it from my Israeli friends, actually the ones who took me to the first place. They said, I was like, "Can I film there?" And they're like, "Yeah, you just film until they tell you no."
awesome.
So I was like, "All right, screw it, let's do it, man." So I just kind of, whenever I'm traveling, I just film until they tell me to stop or no or whatever.
It's a
Yeah,
good mentality. Yeah.
yeah, man. It's like half the battle is being comfortable enough to talk to your camera like it's a person. Because dude, people here in town still sometimes they look at me like I'm an idiot, man. Like this guy's drank too much, he's talking to his phone, it's weird or whatever. Vlogging's not really big in San Antonio. It's starting to get bigger, but and more popular. But yeah, a lot of people, yeah, they've never seen that done before.
I
Yeah,
agree. It is hard to story tell by yourself, looking at your phone or you know, your camera or whatever,
yeah,
and
man.
you know, trying to tell a story, and with the subconscious thoughts of everybody else staring at you.
Hmm.
No, I'm with you 100%. I'm grateful. I do a lot of stuff from home, so
Dude, it's man, like when I'll be I'll be walk at a restaurant, especially at a restaurant. I'm standing there and there's old school people looking at me like, "What the hell's wrong with this kid? He doesn't have any friends or something? Why is he talking to the camera?" Yeah, it's funny,
that's
man.
okay. You're the Migo now. That's
Dude, exactly.
and
More people know me now. More people know what I do. You know, so that's always really cool.
does basically everybody refer to you as Eat Migo?
Yeah. So what's funny is like even my friends now, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm here with Eat Migos," and I'm like, "Chris." Like it's funny. Like,
Remember when I was your friend Chris? Is
yeah,
that
exactly. Now just Eat Migos, or they'll be like, "Hey, we need to invite Eat Migos. Let's include Eat Migos or whatever." And it's just funny to me because it's like, yeah, man. Like most people, and the funny thing is because it was supposed to be the three Los Tres Eat Migos. Like, there's only one of me, and that's why I was like, whoever's with me. So whenever I do it, it's weird to have a name that's plural when it's just yourself. It's like,
I
yeah,
agree. I'm with you there, but I think it works out because then everybody who's involved, everybody who watches the videos or
yeah,
follows you, I'm an Eat Migo now, and my
exactly.
wife's
Well,
an Eat Migo, and
exactly. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, hey, today you're my Eat Migos. I'm eating with you guys. You are my friends. We're eating together. We're Eat Migos. We're going to do this together. And we'll talk it out. And I'll talk to you as if you're not, like, if you're sitting right across from me, you know? I try to make the videos vlog style. So one thing that there were true vlogs at the very beginning. I kind of just started doing them a little bit more produced, only because as I said, I practice camera angles and different things, different lenses, all those kinds of things. Like before I go out for a shoot and I have to rent a lens or borrow a lens that I'm not very familiar with, I'll usually take it on the Migo shoot with me and I'll just exclusively use that. So I'm familiar with the equipment. So whenever I bust it out for someone who's actually paying me, I don't look like an idiot, right?
it makes
So
sense.
yeah,
Absolutely.
man. So so yeah, so a lot of times what I'll do is you know, I use Eat Migo. Eat Migos is one thing Eat Migos has done, and I told my wife this. Eat Migos constantly keeps me creating, and I feel that when you don't create, you can get stagnant. So, like for this, it's like I'm always creating something. So I'm always trying to learn something. I'm always trying to move forward, because I've seen in this business a lot of people who didn't stay current with their craft, and unfortunately, man, it just passed them up. I mean, you got kids now
Absolutely.
with a a webcam in their room, and they're making millions of dollars on unwrapping toys,
Yeah,
right? And the
that's
thing
crazy.
is, yeah. And for a lot of those younger folks, because I'm 42 years old, so I'm on that borderline where it's like, I have to work to understand technology. Dude, social media, man, I have to work to understand it to stay on the current. I'm not like a 16-year-old who just knows how to TikTok.
They were
Like,
born into it. Yeah.
yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. Like, I actually have to work in order to make it happen and make it work and to see what's going on and those kinds of things. So, but it's good, man. Like, Migos keeps me creative, man, as I said.
Dude, that's the way to go. And it's especially awesome that you get to utilize all your skills that you've learned through the years. It's nice to implement that on something that you actually love. I think that's what inevitably is going to keep Eat Migos awesome, is the fact that you genuinely love doing it. It's not just some
Yeah, man.
side project that you're doing, man. I really respect that, man. That's really cool. Hey,
Thanks.
let me ask you one more thing, man.
Yeah,
What do you think the future of Eat Migos is? What do you think
man.
season 4? If can you travel in time in your mind and tell me what
So,
season 4, season 5 could look like?
man, I'm gonna tell you like one thing that Eat Migos has unlocked so many doors for me, things I would have never thought that I would be invited to or given or opportunities, those kinds of things. I want to say that you know, at one point my goal was just to learn how to use social media and use it to be able to say I built this and hire me because I know how to build a brand.
Yeah.
I went to actually building a brand that's actually doing well and continuously growing, or it continues to grow. So I will say season 4, season 5, I have a lot of people wanting to collab with me that are actually, I don't even, so it's funny because like they're a lot more popular on YouTube and those kinds of things. So I think there's going to be a lot more collabs. One thing that Amigos is going to do is we're going to continue to do videos and the taco reviews and all that stuff. We've already added a barbecue. So I'm going to try to do a barbecue once every 2 months. I'll try to do a barbecue place because San Antonio has great barbecue in Texas.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and I think that also we may try to start doing some skits. I've done a couple skits. They've done well. People like them. I did the Lion King one. Did
I
you
did
see
see
that
the
one?
Lion King one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then one thing I mentioned City Lokes. I wrote the song "Eat Like a Gordo," and it got over 1 million views. Yeah, so like I wrote that song. Um, I went out to LA. They produced the video. Man, it was really cool. Long
Dude,
story, yes. Long story short, um, yeah. So maybe do some more parodies and stuff like that. Yeah, that was a while back, but yeah, man, it's
is
been
it
cool, man.
is it hard for you to put yourself out there, to come up with these awesome ideas and spitfire them
So
and get,
the thing that happens for me is my mind works a lot faster than like what I actually do. Like you said, I'm a doer. I try to be, but the one thing is like if I could just do Eat Migos and get paid to do Eat Migos, that would be amazing because Amigos would be so much better than what it is. I still have to put food on the table for my family. So because of that, I have to be creative for people that hire me, people I work with, people I work for. So I'm constantly creating for other people, and
yeah,
Eat Migos always obviously is not the forefront of what I'm doing. And sometimes it suffers because there's times something will happen, a trend will happen, and I'll be like, dude, this would be awesome. I'm going to do this. And I just don't because the job ran longer. I got hired to do something else. Someone wanted to film something. And obviously, like I said, all that comes first because that's what puts the money on the table for me to be able to do Eat Migos, right?
understand.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, but I will say that the one thing that has helped me out a lot is the fact just kind of like scheduling Eat Migos as if it was a job, right? So it's like I'm doing A, B, C, D, and then E is Eat Migos. So I'll schedule it out to be like, hey, Tuesday night I got to shoot. It's this, and I have a wife who supports me, and she actually feels that Eat Migos now. She'll say like, "Daddy's got to go to work, guys," or "Daddy's going to be working. He's going to be editing."
Taco
And
Daddy's
that's
got to handle some business.
exactly, brother. Exactly. but I would say the season 4, season 5, a lot more collabs. You see a lot more cooking videos, a lot more instructional videos. Like I said, my buddy, Chef Leo Davila, he and I have talked, and man, I think we're going to do a whole series of cooking videos, and it's going to be tacos that I like that he does, but it's going to be more done in a cooking show atmosphere. Not so much Eat Migos doing the cooking, but me filming him actually doing the cooking. So I think that's going to be really fun. It's going to be really great. And yeah, I just want to expand my platform, man. Like, you know, just I want it to be not just informational to where you're like, hey, it's a good place to go eat, but also like, hey, man, I can learn how to cook here. And yeah, I have people asking me how I do certain things on my videos. You know, maybe a couple of lessons like, hey, man, you know, this is how I did that intro or this shot or something. You know, yeah, maybe some stuff like that. We'll see. Yeah.
All right. So you've got the Eat Migo burger, the Eat Migo taco. Could you describe to me what the Eat Migo hot sauce would taste like?
Dude, so here's the thing. I have a hot sauce. It's been in my family. My mom makes it. It's tomato based. Like, you know, everything is fresh. And I may, if I may, I have to ask her, do you care if I put our family secret? It ain't even a family secret. It's just what we eat.
Yeah.
Are you cool with me putting it out there? And if she says, yeah, I'm going to do it, because it literally, I remember as a kid, she would make it in the blender, and man, we'd open up the Doritos bag or the Tostitos bag or whatever. We'd sit there and we'd just eat it. Like, man, it was so great, man. So great. Love it. And I still make it today.
Do you feel like Eat Migos is kind of coming full circle around with your own personal childhood?
So it's funny. My kids, they're taco lovers. They're getting to experience a lot of things that I experienced when I was a kid, like food wise and stuff.
Yeah.
My son, he's 3, and that dude likes hot sauce, man. And he is like, and so it's funny because the one thing I taught him, and it was I told my wife, I was like, it's, you know, it's a how do they say that? So basically he's going to learn on his own, right? Like, I don't have to teach him, right? So, and it was the fact of, you never get a chip and get a whole bunch of hot sauce in your mouth before you get your drink at a restaurant, right? It's a self-correcting mistake. That's what they call it.
That's good.
So one day we're sitting there and he grabs it and he throws it in his mouth. My wife's trying to take it out, and I say, it's a self-correcting mistake. I was
That's
like,
awesome.
oh, man, I let him sit there burning. He's scraping his tongue and everything. I mean, when I was a kid, I liked it too, man. I like, you know, hot sauce and stuff. And I said, hey, son, I was like, you have to understand, you never do that when you don't have your drink yet. Like, you never do that, brother. Never do that. So he's learned, and he waits. He'll get a little bit and taste it out. And I've taught him how to
test the waters first.
Yeah. So you're not just throwing something in your mouth that's crazy. Like whenever I thought the wasabi was avocado, yeah, you know, like that only happens once. That's a self-correcting mistake as well.
I've made that mistake myself.
Yeah, man.
It happens. Yeah. It happens.
Dude, that's the best way to clean your sinuses, man.
You're not lying about that. When I was younger, I went to a Mexican restaurant for a family dinner, and I must have been like, I don't know, 8 or 9 or whatever. And we got guacamole, you know, because it's extra. And so everybody's got guacamole, and I reach in and I take a big old fat honking scoop of guac, and I eat my chip, but it was a big chip, so I had half left, you know. So I go to reuse that chip, and I had another big old scoop. My uncle, like 2 rows down, reaches around, grabs my hand, crunches the chip and the guacamole all up in his hand, and throws it down. It's like, 1 scoop, 1 chip. And then that was it. Oh my goodness, man.
Dude, that's hilarious, man.
I'm okay, Uncle Art. I'll never do that again. I'm sorry.
Dude. Hilarious, man. Yeah, dude.
We're hitting the hour mark, man. I just want you to know that I'm extremely grateful you took the time to talk to me today. You put out a lot of content, and I hope that this gives your viewers an opportunity to see behind the scenes a little bit, pull the curtain away a little bit, and see who Chris really is.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks. I appreciate you having me on, man. Honestly, like, it's funny for those of you watching. I called Will and I was like, "Hey, dude, I want to be on your podcast. Basically, I invited myself on there because I was like, you know what, it's time for you to have guests. You know what, I've decided. I have nothing to do with the podcast, but I've decided it's time for you to start having guests.
I'm more than grateful that you're the official first one. I like I said, I couldn't be more grateful. My wife was like, she's like, what? Somebody wants to be on? I was like, yeah, Chris from EATMIGOS. She's
Nice,
like, oh,
nice.
do it. And yeah, I hope to do it again, maybe once a week, nothing too crazy, but yeah,
Yeah, man.
like I said, I'm totally grateful. Thanks for the inspiration. Oh shit.
They got the TacoSlayers gear. And I'll say this to everyone watching, man, they make, Will and his wife, they make these stickers, and we'll link them, everything below. But man, they, as you can see behind them, all back there, all those stickers. But yeah, man, look at that. That's killer.
Right.
I love it, man. Love it.
I love me some stickers, man. I love stickers. Thank you very much. And that's it.
Yeah, man. Before we leave, I just got to tell you, you need to make that Friday the 13th TacoSlayer into a shirt.
Oh, I'm gonna digress into a story here. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man.
So here's the deal with shirts and me. Maybe 9 years ago, I was working late at one of my clients' place. I'm doing graphic design, one of my sticker customers or whatever. And it's late. It's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I had to do my laundry at the laundromat. I was a single guy at the time. I lived in a really small studio apartment. And I had to go to the laundromat. And naturally, when you go to the laundromat, you wait until the last minute to do any clothes. So I have all my wardrobe, my pants, my shirts, my towels. I have everything. And I go out to my car, and my car's gone. My car is gone. And this is basically, for me in my time, at the time of my life, it was basically all my stuff. I had my laptop in my bag. I was holding that, but I had like no car. I had no clothes. And all I had was literally the shirt on my back. And it was a wild situation. Long story short, I ended up getting the car back, but I never got any of the clothes back. And from that point forward, I went out. I only bought my clothes from thrift stores. A thrift store hooked me up. And then that was it. I was like, you know what? I didn't need these badass items. So that's why I've only done, and you're right. I probably should do shirts, but man, I feel so hard about doing it. I'm like, they have all these shirts, thrift store, and no one's wearing them,
Dude,
like,
dude, you
I don't know.
That one shirt, at least that one, man. Yeah,
I'm with you. And not for me. I get it. It's for everybody else. But I'm like,
dude, it is a cool shirt, man. I guarantee you, people see that, they're gonna love it, man.
I do the Friday the 13th sticker. Oh, I don't have one. I thought I had one. I don't. But it is definitely one of the coolest stickers we have, and that was brand new. That was the newest design that we had. So
that's so cool, man.
Man, Chris, thank you so much.
Yeah,
anybody who's listening, we lost feed a while ago, and I'm going to do a recording, or I'm going to post all this in pre-production in about 45 minutes. We'll get it all back on there. Anybody wants to check out Chris Flores, EATMIGOS, eatmigos.com, right? I said that, EATMIGOS.com. Like and subscribe to their YouTube page. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram. One of the coolest dudes I've ever met. I love your hardworking attitude.
Thanks, man.
Man, I'm grateful for everything. Thanks for doing this, brother.
Hey, man, until we do an EATMIGOS episode, man, I'm coming to California to do one.
Bring it on, brother. It's on like Donkey Kong. We'll see y'all later.
Take it easy.